Your body is the only place you have to live for your entire life. Not your house, not your job, not your bank account, your body. And yet, most people treat their health like a backup plan, something to fix later, something to think about when life settles down. But life rarely settles down. Stress increases, responsibilities increase, time pressure increases. And if your health is not strong, everything else becomes harder. Energy becomes limited. Focus becomes weaker. Emotions become unstable. Confidence drops. Health is not just about looking good. It is about living powerfully. It is about waking up with energy, thinking clearly, handling pressure better, living longer, and living better. The next 20 chapters are not temporary fitness tips. They are lifelong health operating systems. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Health Foundation. Why physical strength supports life success. Your body is not separate from your life. It is the system that powers everything you do. Every decision you make, every goal you chase, every relationship you build, every problem you solve, all of it runs through one physical system, your body. And yet, most people treat health like a side project, something to focus on when there is time, something to fix when problems appear, something to improve only when symptoms start showing. But real health does not work like emergency repair. It works like infrastructure. If the foundation is strong, everything built on top is stronger. If the foundation is weak, everything built on top becomes unstable. Now, think about energy. Energy is the currency of life performance. Not motivation, not intention, not talent alone. Energy. If your body is strong and efficient, your energy supply increases. If your body is weak or stressed, your energy supply decreases. And low energy affects everything. Your thinking speed, your emotional control, your patience, your focus, your decision quality. Now, think about mental performance connection. Brain function depends heavily on physical health. Oxygen flow, blood circulation, nutrient delivery, hormone balance. Now, think about stress handling. A strong body handles stress better. Now, think about emotional stability. Hormone balance influences mood stability. Now think about confidence link. Physical strength often increases psychological confidence. Now think about productivity. Healthy body reduces fatigue cycles. Now think about disease resistance. Stronger bodies fight illness better. Now think about aging speed. Healthy lifestyle slows physical and cognitive decline. Now think about long-term independence. Physical strength preserves mobility in older age. Now, think about life enjoyment. Physical health increases quality of life experiences. When you build strong physical foundation, life becomes easier in subtle but powerful ways. Now think about daily performance. Healthy people recover faster after work. Now think about focus endurance. Physical fitness improves mental stamina. Now think about sleep quality. Physical activity improves sleep depth. Now think about stress hormone control. Exercise regulates cortisol levels. Now think about immune strength. Active lifestyle strengthens immune response. Now think about emotional regulation. Movement reduces anxiety and depression risk. Now think about posture and confidence. Strong posture influences self-perception and social perception. Now think about mobility independence. Strong muscles support joint health. Now, think about injury protection. Strength protects bones and ligaments. Now, think about metabolic efficiency. Muscle improves calorie processing efficiency. Now, think about longevity science. Physical activity is one of the strongest predictors of lifespan. Now, think about life opportunity access. Better health allows more experiences. Over decades, physical health becomes one of the biggest life multipliers. You can work longer. Think clearer, recover faster, handle pressure better, enjoy life more. Now think about career advantage. Healthy people often maintain productivity longer. Now think about leadership advantage. Strong physical presence often influences perception. Now think about emotional advantage. Stable physical system stabilizes emotional system. Now think about financial advantage. Good health reduces long-term medical costs. Now think about relationship advantage. Energy improves relationship presence and engagement. Now think about the deepest truth here. Health is not about looking impressive. It is about functioning powerfully. Now imagine living with strong physical foundation for decades. More energy daily, better focus daily, stronger emotional control daily, better recovery from life stress daily. Now remember this. You don't need extreme fitness to change your life. You need consistent physical strength building because your body is not decoration. It is your life engine. And once you start treating health as foundation, not optional upgrade, everything else becomes easier. Your thinking becomes sharper. Your emotions become more stable. Your confidence becomes stronger. Your resilience becomes deeper. Because success is not only built in your mind, it is supported by your body. And building a strong body is one of the most powerful long-term investments you can ever make. Chapter 2. Food as Fuel. Understanding nutrition at a practical level. Every single day, you make one decision that directly controls how your body performs. What you eat. And most people see food in emotional terms. Comfort food, craving food, celebration food, stress food. But your body sees food differently. Your body sees food as information. Every meal sends signals to your brain, hormones, immune system, and metabolism. Food is not just calories. It is biological instruction. Now think about energy production. Your body converts food into usable energy. But not all energy sources are equal. Some foods provide stable energy. Some foods create energy spikes, then crashes. Now think about brain performance. Your brain uses a massive amount of daily energy. Poor nutrition equals slower thinking. Better nutrition equals sharper cognition. Now think about inflammation. Highly processed food increases inflammation. Whole food nutrition reduces inflammation. Now think about hormone balance. Nutrition directly impacts hormone stability. Now think about mood regulation. Food affects neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. Now think about blood sugar stability. Stable blood sugar equals stable energy and mood. Now think about immune function. Nutrient-dense food supports immune defense. Now think about gut health. Gut bacteria influence digestion, immunity, and even mood. Now think about long-term disease risk. Nutrition impacts heart health, diabetes risk, and cognitive decline. Now think about recovery speed. Good nutrition improves recovery from exercise and stress. Now think about body composition. Nutrition influences fat storage and muscle development. When you start viewing food as fuel, decision-making becomes clearer. Now think about macronutrients basics. Protein supports muscle repair and hormone production. Carbohydrates provide quick energy. Fats support hormone health and brain function. Now think about micronutrients. Vitamins and minerals regulate thousands of body processes. Now think about hydration. Water supports circulation, temperature control, and brain function. Now think about nutrient timing. When you eat can influence energy levels. Now think about meal quality over perfection. Consistency matters more than occasional perfect meals. Now think about whole food focus. Natural foods often provide better nutrient balance. Now think about processed food reality. Highly processed food often increases cravings. Now think about fiber importance. Fiber supports digestion and blood sugar stability. Now think about protein satisfaction effect. Protein increases fullness and stabilizes appetite. Now think about sugar spikes. High sugar intake can create energy crashes. Now think about portion awareness. Total intake matters alongside quality. Now think about emotional eating awareness. Stress often triggers poor food decisions. Over decades, strong nutrition habits create massive life advantage. More stable daily energy, better long-term health, stronger immune system, better mental performance. Now think about career advantage. Stable energy improves productivity. Now think about emotional advantage. Stable blood sugar improves mood stability. Now, think about financial advantage. Better nutrition reduces medical costs long-term. Now think about performance advantage. Athletic and cognitive performance improve with better nutrition. Now think about aging advantage. Nutrition quality slows physical decline. Now think about the deepest truth here. You cannot out-train bad nutrition, and you cannot build high-performance body without proper fuel. Now imagine eating with nutrition awareness for decades. More energy daily, less fatigue, better recovery, lower disease risk. Now remember this. Nutrition is not about extreme diets. It is about sustainable, intelligent eating. Because extreme diets often fail long-term. But consistent, smart nutrition works for life. And once you start seeing food as fuel, you stop asking, what do I feel like eating? And start asking, what helps my body perform best? Because food is not just taste. It is information. And the quality of information. Chapter 3, Clean Eating Systems, Making Healthy Eating Automatic. Most people know what healthy eating looks like. Eat more whole foods. Eat more vegetables. Reduce processed foods. Reduce excess sugar. The problem is not knowledge. The problem is consistency. Because knowing what to eat and actually eating it every day are two completely different things. And this is where clean eating systems change everything. Because systems remove decision fatigue. They make healthy behavior automatic, instead of something you must fight for daily. Now, think about why consistency is difficult. Because life is busy. Work pressure increases. Time pressure increases. Stress increases. And when stress increases, people default to convenience. Now, think about willpower limitation. Willpower is not infinite. The more decisions you make daily, the weaker decision quality becomes later. Now, think about system advantage. Systems reduce decision-making energy. Now think about clean eating definition. Clean eating means focusing on foods closer to natural state. Now think about whole food principle. Whole foods contain natural nutrient balance. Now think about processed food risk. Highly processed foods often contain excess sugar, salt, and unhealthy fats. Now think about ingredient simplicity. Short ingredient list usually means less processing. Now think about cooking awareness. Cooking at home increases nutrition control. Now think about shopping discipline. Healthy eating starts at grocery store, not kitchen. Now think about environment design. If healthy food is available, you eat better automatically. Now think about habit stacking. Eating clean becomes routine over time. Now think about craving adaptation. Taste preferences adjust gradually. When you build clean eating systems, healthy nutrition becomes default, not effort. Now think about meal repetition strategy. Eating similar healthy meals reduces decision fatigue. Now think about weekly planning. Planning meals reduces impulse eating. Now think about grocery list discipline. Buying only planned food reduces unhealthy options. Now think about preparation timing. Preparing food ahead increases compliance. Now think about snack control. Healthy snacks reduce junk food temptation. Now think about hydration habit. Water reduces false hunger signals. Now think about plate structure method. Protein plus vegetables plus smart carbs plus healthy fats. Now think about 80-20 rule. Consistent healthy eating with occasional flexibility. Now think about portion awareness. Even healthy food requires balance. Now think about emotional eating awareness. Recognize emotional hunger versus physical hunger. Now think about time convenience. Simple healthy meals beat complicated plans. Now think about realistic sustainability. Sustainable eating beats extreme dieting. Over decades, clean eating systems create powerful health advantage. Stable energy daily, better body composition, lower disease risk, better mental clarity. Now think about career advantage. Stable nutrition improves work consistency. Now think about emotional advantage. Stable nutrition stabilizes mood swings. Now think about financial advantage. Home cooking reduces long-term cost. Now think about performance advantage. Athletic recovery improves. Now think about aging advantage. Clean nutrition supports healthy aging. Now think about the deepest truth here. You don't need perfect nutrition. You need consistent good nutrition. Now imagine following clean eating systems for decades. Less health anxiety, more energy stability, better physical strength, better cognitive performance. Now remember this. Healthy eating is not about restriction. It is about intelligent fueling. Because restriction creates stress, but intelligent fueling creates strength. And once clean eating becomes automatic, you stop negotiating with unhealthy choices daily because your system already supports your best health. And that is how strong. Chapter 4, Weight Balance. Understanding your ideal body range. Most people think about weight in extreme terms. Lose weight fast, gain muscle fast, follow extreme diets, follow extreme workout plans. But long-term health does not live in extremes. It lives in balance. Because your body performs best when it stays within a healthy, sustainable range, not at temporary extremes created by short-term motivation. Now think about what weight balance really means. It is not about chasing a specific number on a scale. It is about maintaining a body composition and weight range that supports energy, mobility, hormone balance, joint health, long-term disease prevention. Now think about why weight matters beyond appearance. Excess body fat increases stress on heart and joints. Extremely low body fat can disrupt hormone balance and immune strength. Now, think about metabolic efficiency. Healthy body composition improves energy processing. Now think about mobility advantage. Balanced weight improves movement quality. Now think about injury prevention. Healthy weight reduces joint stress. Now think about cardiovascular health. Healthy weight supports heart function. Now, think about inflammation. Excess fat tissue can increase chronic inflammation. Now think about hormone balance. Weight extremes disrupt hormone regulation. Now think about sleep quality. Healthy weight improves breathing and sleep patterns. Now think about mental health connection. Physical health influences mood and confidence. Now think about energy stability. Balanced weight supports steady daily energy. When you focus on sustainable weight balance, health becomes easier to maintain long-term. Now, think about sustainable approach principle. Extreme dieting creates temporary results. Now think about metabolic adaptation. Extreme calorie restriction slows metabolism. Now think about muscle preservation. Healthy weight balance includes maintaining muscle mass. Now think about strength importance. Muscle supports metabolism and mobility. Now, think about nutrition consistency. Balanced nutrition supports stable weight. Now, think about movement consistency. Regular movement supports weight balance naturally. Now, think about sleep importance. Poor sleep disrupts hunger hormones. Now, think about stress influence. High stress increases unhealthy eating patterns. Now think about hydration role. Hydration supports metabolism and appetite control. Now think about realistic goal setting. Sustainable goals create lasting results. Now think about patience advantage. Slow progress often becomes permanent progress. Now think about identity shift. Healthy weight maintenance becomes lifestyle, not temporary project. Over decades, maintaining weight balance creates massive health advantage. Better mobility in older age. Lower disease risk, higher energy levels, better confidence stability. Now think about career advantage. Stable energy supports consistent performance. Now think about emotional advantage. Healthy body reduces self-image stress. Now think about financial advantage. Lower medical costs long-term. Now think about longevity advantage. Healthy weight increases life expectancy. Now think about quality of life advantage. Mobility and independence last longer. Now, think about the deepest truth here. Your goal is not to reach perfect weight. Your goal is to maintain strong, healthy range. Now, imagine maintaining balanced weight for 30 to 40 years. Stronger joints, better cardiovascular health, better metabolic health, better movement freedom. Now remember this. Extreme weight changes often create rebound effects. But sustainable balance creates lasting stability because your body prefers balance. And once you learn to maintain healthy weight range, you stop chasing short-term transformation. and start building long-term health security. Because health is not built in 30 days. It is built across decades. And weight balance is one of the strongest predictors of long-term physical quality of life. Chapter 5, Metabolism and Energy Management. Every single second of your life, your body is converting fuel into energy. Breathing, thinking, moving, repairing cells, regulating temperature, maintaining organs. All of this is powered by metabolism. And most people misunderstand metabolism. They think metabolism is only about weight loss or weight gain. But metabolism is much bigger than that. Metabolism is your body's total energy management system. And when metabolism works efficiently, everything improves. Energy levels, mental clarity, hormone balance, recovery speed, physical performance. Now think about what metabolism actually does. Metabolism is how your body converts food into usable energy. Now think about metabolic efficiency. Efficient metabolism equals stable energy production. Now think about metabolic slowdown. Poor nutrition plus low activity equals lower energy output. Now think about muscle connection. Muscle tissue burns more energy than fat tissue, even at rest. Now think about energy demand. Active bodies require more energy and process energy better. Now think about blood sugar stability. Stable blood sugar supports stable metabolism. Now think about hormone regulation. Metabolism influences thyroid function and insulin sensitivity. Now think about aging connection. Metabolism naturally slows with age, unless maintained. Now think about sleep connection. Poor sleep disrupts metabolic function. Now think about stress connection. Chronic stress disrupts energy regulation. Now think about hydration connection. Water supports cellular metabolic reactions. Now think about nutrient density. Better nutrients improve energy production efficiency. When you understand metabolism properly, you stop chasing shortcuts and start supporting long-term energy stability. Now think about muscle building importance. More muscle equals higher metabolic baseline. Now think about strength training role. Strength training improves insulin sensitivity. Now think about protein importance. Protein supports muscle maintenance. Now think about movement frequency. Frequent movement keeps metabolism active. Now think about meal timing awareness. Consistent meal timing supports energy rhythm. Now think about crash diet danger. Extreme dieting can reduce metabolic rate. Now think about recovery nutrition. Recovery nutrition supports energy system repair. Now think about caffeine dependence. Over-reliance on stimulants masks metabolic fatigue. Now think about sunlight exposure. Sunlight supports circadian rhythm, which influences metabolism. Now think about temperature exposure. Cold and heat exposure can influence metabolic activity. Now think about lifestyle consistency. Consistency stabilizes metabolic function. Now think about energy monitoring. Notice when energy drops and why. Over decades, strong metabolism creates powerful life advantage. Stable daily energy, better weight control, better physical performance, better mental performance. Now think about career advantage. High energy increases productivity. Now think about emotional advantage. Stable energy reduces irritability. Now think about financial advantage. Better health reduces medical expenses. Now think about aging advantage. Maintained metabolism slows age-related decline. Now think about physical performance advantage. Stronger metabolism supports faster recovery. Now think about the deepest truth here. Energy is life performance, not motivation, not intention. Energy. Now imagine maintaining strong metabolism for 30 to 40 years. Higher productivity daily, better stress handling, better physical performance, better mental endurance. Now remember this, metabolism is not fixed. It is influenced daily by movement, nutrition, sleep, stress management, because your body is always adapting. And once you support metabolism intentionally, you stop relying on temporary energy spikes and start building stable, sustainable energy. Because real performance comes from consistent energy supply. And metabolism is the system that makes that possible. Chapter 6, Cardiovascular Fitness, Building a Strong Heart and Lungs. Every goal you chase in life depends on endurance. Not just physical endurance, mental endurance, emotional endurance, work endurance. And at the center of endurance is one critical system: your cardiovascular system, your heart, your lungs, your blood vessels. Together, they deliver oxygen and nutrients to every cell in your body. And when this system is strong, life feels easier. You move easier. You think clearer. You recover faster. You handle stress better. Now, think about what cardiovascular fitness really means. It is how efficiently your heart and lungs deliver oxygen to your muscles and brain. Now, think about oxygen importance. Oxygen powers cellular energy production. Now think about circulation efficiency. Better circulation improves nutrient delivery. Now think about heart strength. Stronger heart pumps more blood with less effort. Now think about lung efficiency. Better lung function improves oxygen intake. Now think about endurance capacity. Cardio fitness increases ability to sustain activity. Now think about recovery speed. Fit cardiovascular systems recover faster after exertion. Now think about blood pressure regulation. Cardio training improves blood vessel flexibility. Now think about brain performance. Better blood flow improves cognitive function. Now think about stress resistance. Cardio exercise reduces stress hormones. Now think about inflammation reduction. Cardio activity reduces chronic inflammation risk. Now think about disease prevention. Cardio fitness reduces risk of heart disease and stroke. When you build cardiovascular fitness intentionally, daily life becomes physically and mentally easier. Now think about daily movement benefit. Simple walking improves cardiovascular baseline. Now think about moderate intensity exercise. Brisk walking, cycling, swimming improve heart strength. Now think about high intensity training. Short bursts improve cardiovascular efficiency faster. Now, think about frequency importance. Consistency matters more than intensity spikes. Now, think about heart rate zones. Different intensities train different energy systems. Now, think about breath control. Breathing efficiency improves endurance. Now, think about posture during cardio. Proper posture improves oxygen flow. Now, think about warm-up importance. Warm-ups prepare cardiovascular systems safely. Now, think about cool-down importance. Cool-down supports recovery and circulation. Now, think about hydration importance. Hydration supports blood volume and circulation. Now, think about cross-training benefit. Different cardio types reduce overuse injuries. Now, think about enjoyment factor. Enjoyable cardio increases long-term consistency. Over decades, cardiovascular fitness creates massive life advantage. Higher energy daily, lower heart disease risk, better stress tolerance, better cognitive endurance. Now think about career advantage. Higher stamina improves productivity. Now think about emotional advantage. Cardio exercise reduces anxiety and depression risk. Now think about longevity advantage. Heart health strongly predicts lifespan. Now think about performance advantage. Athletic and daily performance improve. Now think about lifestyle advantage. You stay active longer into older age. Now think about the deepest truth here. Your heart will beat billions of times in your lifetime. And how well it works determines how well you live. Now imagine maintaining strong cardiovascular fitness for 30 to 40 years. More energy daily. Better recovery from stress. Better physical confidence. Better mental clarity. Now remember this. You don't need extreme endurance training. You need consistent cardiovascular training. Because consistency trains the heart. And once you build strong cardiovascular foundation, you don't just live longer. You live stronger. Because endurance is not just for athletes. Endurance is for life. And a strong heart supports a strong life. Chapter 7, Aerobic Endurance, Training Your Energy Systems. There's a difference between being able to move and being able to keep moving. That difference is endurance. And aerobic endurance is one of the most powerful yet underestimated health advantages you can build. Because life is not built on short bursts of effort. Life is built on sustained effort. Long workdays, long problem-solving sessions, long emotional challenges, long-term responsibilities, and aerobic endurance trains your body and your mind to handle sustained demand. Now think about what aerobic endurance really means. It is your body's ability to produce energy using oxygen over long periods. Now think about energy system basics. Your body has multiple energy systems. Short burst energy, anaerobic. Long duration energy, aerobic. Now think about why aerobic system matters most for daily life. Because most life activity happens in aerobic zone. Now think about oxygen efficiency. Better oxygen use equals better energy production. Now think about fatigue resistance. Aerobic training delays fatigue. Now think about brain endurance. Aerobic fitness improves mental stamina. Now think about stress tolerance. Endurance training improves nervous system stability. Now think about recovery improvement. Better aerobic fitness speeds recovery. Now think about fat utilization. Aerobic training improves fat burning efficiency. Now think about heart-lung coordination. Aerobic exercise improves cardiovascular lung synchronization. Now think about emotional endurance. Physical endurance often builds psychological endurance. Now think about focus endurance. Long-duration exercise trains concentration. Now think about resilience building. Endurance teaches persistence under discomfort. When you build aerobic endurance intentionally, your life capacity expands. Now think about common aerobic endurance activities. Running, cycling, swimming, rowing, brisk walking, hiking. Now think about intensity balance. Moderate intensity builds strong endurance base. Now think about duration building. Gradually increasing duration improves capacity. Now think about breathing rhythm. Breathing efficiency improves oxygen delivery. Now think about consistency importance. Frequent moderate sessions beat occasional extreme sessions. Now think about pacing awareness. Learning sustainable pace improves endurance growth. Now think about overtraining risk. Too much too fast increases injury risk. Now think about recovery importance. Recovery improves endurance adaptation. Now think about nutrition support. Proper fuel supports endurance training. Now think about hydration importance. Hydration supports blood oxygen transport. Now think about mental training. Endurance exercise trains patience and discipline. Now think about progress measurement. Tracking distance or time shows improvement. Over decades, strong aerobic endurance creates massive life advantage. Higher daily energy capacity, better stress tolerance, better physical resilience, better mental endurance. Now think about career advantage. Endurance improves long work performance. Now think about emotional advantage. Endurance training improves mood stability. Now think about longevity advantage. Aerobic fitness strongly correlates with long lifespan. Now think about performance advantage. Sports and physical activity become easier. Now think about lifestyle advantage. Travel, adventure, and active life become easier. Now think about the deepest truth here. Life is not a sprint. It is a long endurance event. Now imagine maintaining strong aerobic endurance for 30 to 40 years. You remain active longer. You maintain independence longer. You handle stress better. You recover faster from physical and emotional challenges. Now remember this. Endurance is not built in weeks. It is built in months and years. Because endurance grows slowly but powerfully. And once you build strong aerobic base, everything physical becomes easier. Walking feels easier. Working feels easier. Thinking feels clearer. Because oxygen fuels life performance. And the better your body uses oxygen, the stronger your life engine becomes. And that is why aerobic endurance is not optional for long-term. Chapter 8, Strength Training Fundamentals. If endurance is your body's ability to keep going, strength is your body's ability to handle load. And load is everywhere in life. Carrying groceries, lifting objects, climbing stairs, standing for long periods, maintaining posture at work. Strength is not just about appearance. It is about protection. Protection for your joints. Protection for your bones. Protection for your posture. Protection for your long-term mobility. Now think about what strength training really does. Strength training teaches muscles to handle resistance. And muscle is not just for movement. Muscle supports metabolism. Muscle stabilizes joints. Muscle protects bones. Muscle improves posture. Now, think about muscle and aging. After age 30, muscle naturally declines unless trained. Now think about bone density. Strength training increases bone strength. Now, think about joint protection. Strong muscles reduce joint wear. Now think about injury prevention. Strength reduces movement and balance risk. Now think about metabolic advantage. Muscle increases resting calorie burn. Now think about hormone benefit. Strength training supports testosterone and growth hormone balance. Now think about posture improvement. Strength improves spinal support. Now think about confidence connection. Physical strength often improves mental confidence. Now think about daily movement ease. Stronger body makes daily tasks easier. Now think about longevity science. Strength training correlates with long-term independence. Now think about balance improvement. Strength improves fall prevention ability. When you build strength training foundation, your body becomes more resilient to life demands. Now think about basic strength movements. Push movements, pull movements, squat movements, hinge movements, core stabilization. Now think about progressive overload. Gradually increasing load builds strength. Now think about form importance. Good technique prevents injury. Now think about training frequency. Consistency matters more than intensity spikes. Now think about rest importance. Muscle grows during recovery. Now think about protein support. Protein supports muscle repair. Now think about sleep support. Sleep supports muscle growth hormones. Now think about mobility integration. Mobility prevents strength imbalance. Now think about beginner consistency. Simple, consistent training beats complex programs. Now think about injury awareness. Pain is signal, not progress. Now think about balance training. Train all major muscle groups. Now think about long-term patience. Strength builds slowly but lasts long. Over decades, strength training creates massive life advantage. Stronger body, better posture, better mobility, lower injury risk, better metabolic health. Now think about career advantage. Physical resilience supports long work years. Now think about emotional advantage. Strength training reduces anxiety and depression risk. Now think about aging advantage. Strength preserves independence in older age. Now think about lifestyle advantage. Physical confidence increases activity choices. Now think about performance advantage. Strength improves athletic and daily performance. Now think about the deepest truth here. Strength is not about lifting heavy for ego. It is about building physical insurance for your future. Now imagine maintaining strength training for 30 to 40 years. Stronger bones, stronger joints, better posture, better mobility. Now remember this. You don't need extreme strength. You need consistent strength. Because strength is not built through occasional effort. It is built through repeated progressive effort. And once strength becomes part of your lifestyle, you stop fearing physical decline because you're actively fighting it. And that is one of the most powerful long-term health decisions you can make. Because strength supports life, and a strong body supports Chapter 9, Functional Strength for Real Life. There is a difference between being strong in a gym and being strong in life. And functional strength is the bridge between the two. Because real life does not happen on machines. Real life happens when you lift awkward objects, carry uneven weight, twist while moving, push, pull, climb, balance, and react. Functional strength is about training your body to move well, not just look strong. Now, think about what functional strength really means. It is strength combined with coordination, balance, stability, and movement efficiency. Now think about why functional strength matters. Because life movement is unpredictable. Now think about joint stability. Functional training strengthens stabilizing muscles. Now think about injury prevention. Functional strength reduces movement and balance injuries. Now think about mobility integration. Functional strength combines strength and flexibility. Now think about core stability. Core strength supports almost all movement. Now think about balance training. Balance prevents falls and improves reaction control. Now think about movement efficiency. Functional training improves how you use energy during movement. Now think about posture under load. Functional strength improves posture while carrying weight. Now think about daily activity performance. Functional strength makes daily tasks easier. Now think about sport performance. Functional strength improves coordination and agility. Now think about nervous system training. Functional training improves brain-body coordination. Now think about aging advantage. Functional strength preserves independence longer. When you build functional strength intentionally, your body becomes adaptable and resilient. Now think about real-life movement patterns. Lifting objects from floor, carrying items while walking, reaching overhead safely, pushing and pulling objects. Now think about multi-muscle movement training. Compound movements train real-life strength. Now think about unilateral training. Single arm and single leg training improves balance. Now think about rotation training. Rotational strength improves spine safety. Now think about grip strength. Grip strength predicts overall strength and longevity. Now think about core integration. Core supports all functional movement. Now think about stability training. Stability prevents injury during sudden movement. Now think about movement variability. Different movement patterns build adaptable strength. Now think about body awareness. Functional training improves proprioception. Now think about injury recovery. Functional training supports rehabilitation. Now think about performance carryover. Functional strength transfers to real-life tasks. Now think about movement confidence. Functional strength reduces fear of physical tasks. Over decades, functional strength creates massive life advantage. You move better. You avoid injuries. You maintain independence. You stay physically capable longer. Now think about career advantage. Physical resilience supports physical and desk-based careers. Now think about emotional advantage. Movement confidence improves self-esteem. Now think about aging advantage. Functional strength preserves mobility and independence. Now think about lifestyle advantage. Travel, adventure, and active hobbies remain possible. Now think about performance advantage. Sports and physical activities become easier. Now think about the deepest truth here. Real strength is not about how much you lift. It is about how well you move. Now imagine building functional strength for 30 to 40 years. Better balance, better coordination, better injury resistance, better movement confidence. Now remember this. Muscle strength alone is not enough. Movement quality matters because strong but stiff bodies break easier, but strong and mobile bodies last longer. And once functional strength becomes part of your training, your body becomes adaptable, not fragile, because life requires movement, and functional strength prepares you for life, not just workouts. Chapter 10. The Calm Mind Advantage. Most people think stress is only mental, but stress is physical. It changes hormones. It changes heart rate. It changes digestion. It changes sleep. It changes immune strength. And the most dangerous part of stress is not short bursts. It is chronic stress, because chronic stress slowly damages physical health, often silently. Now, think about modern life. Constant notifications, constant pressure, constant comparison, constant deadlines. Your nervous system was not designed for constant activation. And when your nervous system stays in stress mode too long, your body starts paying the price. Now think about stress hormone impact. Chronic stress increases cortisol. Now think about cortisol imbalance. High cortisol disrupts sleep, fat storage, and immune function. Now think about inflammation increase. Chronic stress increases systemic inflammation. Now think about digestion disruption. Stress reduces digestive efficiency. Now, think about heart strain. Chronic stress increases blood pressure. Now think about brain impact. Stress reduces focus and memory performance. Now think about emotional volatility. Chronic stress increases irritability and anxiety. Now think about recovery reduction. Stress reduces physical recovery speed. Now think about immune suppression. Chronic stress weakens immune defense. Now think about aging acceleration. Chronic stress accelerates biological aging. Now think about muscle tension. Stress creates chronic physical tension. When you build a calm mind, you build a healthier body automatically. Now think about nervous system balance. Calm mind activates parasympathetic recovery system. Now think about breathing impact. Slow breathing signals safety to brain. Now think about thought control. Calm thinking reduces emotional overreaction. Now think about focus improvement. Calm mind improves decision clarity. Now think about emotional regulation. Calm mind reduces impulsive decisions. Now think about sleep improvement. Calm nervous system improves sleep quality. Now think about hormone balance. Calm state supports healthy hormone cycles. Now think about digestion improvement. Relaxed state improves nutrient absorption. Now think about pain reduction. Stress reduction often reduces chronic pain. Now think about recovery speed. Calm nervous system improves recovery. Now think about relationship quality. Calm people communicate better. Now think about resilience training. Calm mind handles crisis better. Over decades, calm mind creates massive health and life advantage. Lower chronic disease risk. Better emotional stability. Better decision quality. Better long-term mental health. Now think about career advantage. Calm professionals perform better under pressure. Now think about leadership advantage. Calm leaders stabilize teams. Now think about relationship advantage. Calm communication builds trust. Now think about longevity advantage. Stress control improves lifespan probability. Now think about performance advantage. Calm focus improves cognitive performance. Now think about the deepest truth here. Stress will always exist, but your response to stress determines its damage. Now imagine training calm, thinking for 30 to 40 years. Lower baseline anxiety, better emotional control, better physical health, better resilience during crisis. Now remember this. Calm is not weakness. Calm is control, because panic reduces intelligence. Calm increases intelligence. And once you train calm mind intentionally, you stop letting external chaos control your internal state. Because the strongest people are not the least stressed. They're the ones who recover fastest from stress. And calm thinking is the skill that makes that possible. Chapter 11, Meditation and Breathing Mastery. If the calm mind is the advantage, meditation and breathing are the tools that build it. Because most people try to control stress using distraction. Scrolling, watching content, avoiding silence, avoiding stillness. But distraction does not reset your nervous system. It only postpones stress. Meditation and controlled breathing do something different. They directly influence your nervous system. They shift your body from stress mode, recovery mode. And this is powerful because your nervous system controls almost every system in your body. Now, think about breathing and survival. Breathing is the only automatic body function you can consciously control. And because of this, breathing is a direct switch for your nervous system state. Now, think about fast breathing signals. Fast breathing, brain interprets danger. Now, think about slow breathing signals. Slow breathing, brain interprets safety. Now, think about nervous system branches. Sympathetic system, fight or flight. Parasympathetic system, rest and recovery. Now, think about meditation purpose. Meditation trains attention control. Now, think about thought observation. Meditation teaches you to observe thoughts, not chase them. Now, think about emotional separation. Meditation creates space between feeling and reaction. Now, think about stress hormone reduction. Meditation reduces cortisol levels. Now, think about brain plasticity. Meditation changes brain structure over time. Now, think about focus improvement. Meditation strengthens attention control. Now, think about anxiety reduction. Breathing slows panic response. Now, think about sleep improvement. Meditation reduces pre-sleep mental noise. Now, think about emotional regulation. Meditation improves emotional stability. When you train breathing and meditation consistently, your baseline stress reduces. Now, think about simple breathing method. Slow inhale, slow exhale. Longer exhale signals relaxation. Now think about box breathing method. Equal inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Now think about body scanning meditation. Observe physical sensations calmly. Now think about thought watching meditation. Observe thoughts like passing clouds. Now think about micro meditation. Even 2 to 5 minutes resets stress response. Now think about morning meditation advantage. Morning calm sets nervous system tone for day. Now think about evening meditation advantage. Evening meditation improves sleep transition. Now think about posture importance. Straight posture improves breathing efficiency. Now think about environment support. Quiet environment improves meditation consistency. Now think about realistic expectation. Meditation is practice, not perfection. Now think about consistency power. Daily short meditation beats rare long sessions. Now think about emotional awareness growth. Meditation increases emotional pattern awareness. Over decades, meditation and breathing mastery create massive health advantage. Lower baseline stress, better emotional control, better mental clarity, better physical recovery. Now think about career advantage. Meditation improves focus endurance. Now think about leadership advantage. Calm leaders make clearer decisions. Now think about emotional advantage. Meditation reduces anxiety cycles. Now think about health advantage. Breathing training improves cardiovascular efficiency. Now think about longevity advantage. Lower chronic stress improves long-term health. Now think about the deepest truth here. You cannot control every stress event, but you can train how your body responds to stress. Now imagine practicing breathing and meditation for 30 to 40 years. Stronger emotional control, stronger focus ability, better stress recovery, better mental clarity. Now remember this. Meditation is not about stopping thoughts. It is about not being controlled by thoughts. And breathing is not just survival. It is nervous system control. And once you master breathing and meditation, you gain direct influence over your internal state. Because calm is trainable, focus is trainable, and inner stability is trainable. And these are some of the highest value skills you can build for lifelong. Chapter 12, Sleep as a Performance Tool. Most people think sleep is just rest. Something you do because you are tired. Something you sacrifice when life gets busy. Something you reduce when work increases. But sleep is not passive. Sleep is one of the most powerful performance tools your body has. Because sleep is when repair happens. Physical repair, mental repair, hormonal regulation, memory consolidation, immune strengthening. And when sleep is weak, everything else becomes harder. Now, think about what happens during sleep. Your brain processes information. Your muscles repair micro damage. Your hormones reset for next day. Your immune system strengthens. Now think about brain detox. Sleep helps remove metabolic waste from brain. Now think about memory formation. Sleep converts short-term memory into long-term memory. Now think about emotional regulation. Poor sleep increases emotional reactivity. Now think about hormone balance. Sleep controls hunger hormones. Now think about cortisol regulation. Poor sleep increases stress hormone levels. Now think about insulin sensitivity. Poor sleep increases metabolic dysfunction risk. Now think about muscle recovery. Muscle repair happens during deep sleep. Now think about immune function. Sleep strengthens immune response. Now think about reaction time. Sleep improves reflex speed. Now think about decision making. Sleep improves cognitive processing. Now think about mood stability. Sleep reduces depression and anxiety risk. When you treat sleep as performance tool, Your daily life improves dramatically. Now, think about sleep consistency. Same sleep time stabilizes circadian rhythm. Now, think about light exposure. Morning sunlight improves sleep timing. Now, think about screen reduction. Blue light disrupts melatonin production. Now, think about sleep environment. Dark, cool, quiet improves sleep depth. Now, think about caffeine timing. Late caffeine disrupts sleep cycles. Now think about pre-sleep routine. Calm routine prepares nervous system for sleep. Now think about exercise timing. Exercise improves sleep quality if timed correctly. Now think about stress management. Stress management improves sleep onset. Now think about nutrition timing. Heavy late meals disrupt sleep quality. Now think about alcohol impact. Alcohol reduces sleep quality despite causing drowsiness. Now think about sleep debt reality. Lost sleep cannot be fully recovered quickly. Now think about sleep tracking awareness. Tracking sleep patterns improves sleep quality. Over decades, strong sleep habits create massive life advantage. Better brain performance, better emotional stability, better physical recovery, lower disease risk. Now think about career advantage. Well-rested people perform better consistently. Now think about leadership advantage. Clear thinking improves leadership decisions. Now think about emotional advantage. Sleep reduces emotional volatility. Now think about health advantage. Sleep supports heart health and metabolism. Now think about longevity advantage. Sleep quality correlates with lifespan. Now think about the deepest truth here. Sleep is not wasted time. Sleep is repair time. Now imagine protecting sleep quality for 30 to 40 years. Stronger brain function, stronger emotional control, stronger physical recovery, stronger long-term health. Now remember this. You cannot outwork poor sleep. You cannot outtrain poor sleep. You cannot outfocus poor sleep. Because sleep is not optional for high performance. It is foundational. And once you treat sleep as performance investment, you stop sacrificing it for temporary productivity, because real productivity is built on recovery, and recovery is built on sleep, and strong sleep builds strong life performance. Chapter 13. Cooking as a life skill. Most people think cooking is optional, something you do if you enjoy it, something you do if you have time, something you do only when necessary. But cooking is not just a hobby. Cooking is one of the most powerful health control skills you can build, because the moment you can cook for yourself, you control what goes into your body. And control over nutrition is control over long-term health. Now think about modern food environment. Convenience food is everywhere. Fast food, packaged food, highly processed food. And these foods are designed for taste and convenience, not long-term health. Cooking changes that. Now think about ingredient control. Cooking allows you to control salt levels, sugar levels, oil quality, portion sizes, ingredient freshness. Now think about nutrient preservation. Fresh cooking preserves more nutrients. Now think about food quality awareness. Cooking builds understanding of food composition. Now think about portion awareness. Cooking improves portion control. Now think about emotional relationship with food. Cooking creates healthier food connection. Now, think about cost efficiency. Cooking reduces long-term food cost. Now, think about disease prevention. Home-cooked food often reduces processed ingredient intake. Now, think about habit building. Cooking encourages structured meal planning. Now, think about family health impact. Cooking improves family nutrition quality. Now, think about independence factor. Cooking removes dependence on external food sources. When you develop cooking skill, healthy eating becomes easier and more sustainable. Now, think about cooking simplicity. Healthy cooking does not need to be complex. Now think about basic cooking foundations. Protein cooking basics. Vegetable cooking basics. Grain preparation basics. Now think about meal structure. Protein plus vegetables plus fiber plus healthy fats. Now think about seasoning awareness. Natural seasoning improves taste without unhealthy additives. Now think about batch cooking. Cooking multiple meals at once improves consistency. Now think about kitchen organization. Organized kitchen improves cooking frequency. Now, think about time efficiency. Simple recipes save time. Now think about skill growth. Cooking skill improves with repetition. Now think about recipe customization. Cooking allows adjustment based on health goals. Now think about food safety. Cooking knowledge improves food safety. Now think about emotional benefit. Cooking can be calming and creative. Now think about lifestyle independence. Cooking supports self-sufficient lifestyle. Over decades, cooking skill creates massive health advantage. Better nutrition consistency. Lower processed food intake. Better portion control. Better metabolic health. Now think about career advantage. Stable nutrition improves daily energy. Now think about emotional advantage. Cooking builds healthy food relationship. Now think about financial advantage. Home cooking reduces long-term food expenses. Now think about family advantage. Cooking improves household health quality. Now think about lifestyle advantage. Cooking increases independence and confidence. Now think about the deepest truth here. If you don't control your food, food companies control your food choices. Now imagine cooking consistently for 30 to 40 years. Better long-term health, better nutrition awareness, better energy stability, better disease prevention. Now remember this. Cooking is not about becoming chef-level skilled. It is about becoming nutrition independent. Because once you can cook simple, healthy meals, you're no longer limited by external food options. And that gives you long-term health control. And health control is one of the most powerful forms of life control you can have. Because food builds your body, and cooking gives you control over how that happens. Chapter 14. Meal Preparation and Consistency Systems. Most people fail at healthy eating for one simple reason. They rely on willpower, and willpower is unreliable. Because life is unpredictable. Some days you have time. Some days you don't. Some days you have energy. Some days you don't. And when time and energy drop, convenience takes over. That is why meal preparation systems are powerful. Because systems remove daily decision pressure. They make healthy eating automatic, not effort-based. Now, think about why planning works. Planning moves decisions from emotional moments, rational moments. Now think about impulse decision reality. Hunger plus stress plus time pressure equals poor food decisions. Now think about preparation advantage. Prepared healthy food removes temptation. Now think about consistency advantage. Meal prep makes nutrition predictable. Now think about time efficiency. Cooking once, eating multiple times. Now think about portion control. Meal prep improves portion awareness. Now think about budget control. Meal prep reduces food waste and impulse buying. Now think about stress reduction. Prepared food reduces daily stress. Now think about habit formation. Routine meal prep builds long-term nutrition habits. Now think about energy stability. Consistent meals stabilize blood sugar. Now think about lifestyle structure. Meal systems support disciplined lifestyle. Now think about long-term compliance. Simple systems are easier to maintain long-term. When you build meal preparation systems, healthy eating becomes normal, not exceptional. Now think about weekly planning model. Choose simple, repeatable meals. Now think about grocery planning. Shop with specific meal plan. Now think about batch cooking method. Cook multiple portions at once. Now think about storage systems. Use containers for easy portion control. Now think about rotation system. Rotate meals weekly to avoid boredom. Now think about emergency meals. Keep healthy backup meals ready. Now think about time block planning. Choose fixed prep time weekly. Now think about simple meal structure. Protein plus vegetables plus fiber-based meals. Now think about snack planning. Pre-plan healthy snacks. Now think about cooking simplification. Fewer recipes, more consistency. Now think about environment design. Make healthy food easy to access. Now think about realistic expectations. Perfection is not required. Consistency is. Over decades, meal preparation systems create massive health advantage. Stable nutrition quality, better weight control, better metabolic stability, better energy consistency. Now think about career advantage. Stable energy improves work output. Now think about emotional advantage. Stable nutrition improves mood stability. Now think about financial advantage. Meal prep reduces long-term food cost. Now think about health advantage. Meal prep reduces processed food dependence. Now think about lifestyle advantage. Meal prep reduces daily stress. Now think about the deepest truth here. Healthy eating is not about motivation. It is about systems. Now imagine using meal preparation systems for 30 to 40 years. Better long-term health, better daily energy, better food discipline, lower disease risk. Now remember this. You don't need complex meal plans. You need reliable meal systems. Because reliability beats perfection. And once meal preparation becomes routine, healthy eating stops feeling like effort. It becomes normal. And normal habits shape lifelong health. Because health is not built from occasional good choices. It is built from repeat. Chapter 15, Self-Defense and Physical Confidence. Most people think self-defense is only about fighting. But real self-defense is about awareness, confidence, preparedness, control under pressure. Because the goal of self-defense is not to fight. The goal is to avoid danger, escape danger, and protect yourself if absolutely necessary. And beyond physical safety, self-defense training creates something deeper. Physical confidence. And physical confidence changes how you move through the world. Now, think about body language psychology. Confident posture often discourages potential threats. Now, think about situational awareness. Self-defense training teaches environmental awareness. Now, think about reaction speed. Training improves response during sudden stress. Now, think about fear management. Training reduces panic during confrontation. Now, think about decision speed. Self-defense improves decision-making under pressure. Now, think about physical readiness. Training prepares your body for unexpected situations. Now, think about boundary confidence. Self-defense builds assertive presence. Now, think about mental strength. Self-defense builds courage and composure. Now, think about movement efficiency. Training improves balance and body control. Now, think about stress conditioning. Training exposes you to controlled stress environments. Now, think about injury prevention. Self-defense improves reflex protection. Now, think about confidence carryover. Physical confidence improves social confidence. When you build self-defense skill, you build physical and psychological security. Now think about avoidance principle. Best defense is avoiding dangerous situations. Now think about awareness scanning. Observe surroundings when moving in public. Now think about distance management. Maintaining space reduces risk. Now think about voice confidence. Clear, assertive communication deters threats. Now think about escape focus. Primary goal is safety, not winning confrontation. Now think about strength support. Physical strength improves defense capability. Now think about cardio support. Cardio fitness supports escape endurance. Now think about balance training. Balance improves defensive movement. Now think about reflex training. Reflex drills improve reaction speed. Now think about mental rehearsal. Visualizing scenarios improves response speed. Now think about training consistency. Regular training builds muscle memory. Now think about legal awareness. Understand legal boundaries of self-defense. Over decades, self-defense training creates massive life advantage. Higher personal safety awareness. Higher confidence in public environments. Higher stress controllability. Higher physical preparedness. Now think about career advantage. Confidence improves professional presence. Now think about emotional advantage. Preparedness reduces anxiety in uncertain environments. Now think about lifestyle advantage. Freedom to move confidently in different environments. Now think about family protection advantage. Self-defense knowledge improves family safety awareness. Now think about mental resilience advantage. Self-defense training builds courage and calm under pressure. Now think about the deepest truth here. True confidence is not pretending to be fearless. It is knowing you are prepared. Now imagine training self-defense awareness for 20 to 30 years. Better situational awareness. better personal security confidence, better stress reaction control, better physical readiness. Now remember this. Self-defense is not about aggression. It is about control. Control of space, control of distance, control of response. And once you build self-defense confidence, you move through the world differently. More aware, more calm, more prepared. Because safety is not luck. Safety is preparation plus awareness. And physical confidence is one of the strongest Chapter 16, Coordination and Reaction Training. Strength gives you power. Endurance gives you stamina. But coordination and reaction give you control. Because life is not predictable. You don't always move in straight lines. You don't always have time to think before acting. You don't always face stable, controlled environments. Sometimes you need to react fast, adjust quickly, move efficiently, stay balanced under sudden change. And that is what coordination and reaction training builds. Now think about what coordination really means. Coordination is how well your brain and body communicate. Now think about movement timing. Coordination controls when muscles activate. Now think about balance control. Coordination improves stability during movement. Now think about reaction speed. Reaction training reduces response delay. Now think about nervous system efficiency. Coordination improves brain-muscle communication. Now think about injury prevention. Better coordination reduces awkward movement injuries. Now think about sport performance. Coordination improves skill precision. Now think about daily movement safety. Reaction training reduces fall risk. Now think about driving safety. Faster reaction improves road safety. Now think about agility advantage. Coordination improves quick direction changes. Now think about mental sharpness. Reaction training improves cognitive processing speed. Now think about confidence improvement. Better movement control increases physical confidence. When you train coordination and reaction intentionally, your body becomes more adaptable. Now think about balance training methods. Single leg balance improves stability. Now think about agility drills. Direction change drills improve movement speed. Now think about hand-eye coordination. Ball drills improve brain-body connection. Now think about footwork training. Footwork drills improve movement precision. Now think about reaction drills. Light or sound reaction drills improve response speed. Now think about rhythm training. Rhythm training improves movement timing. Now think about unstable surface training. Balance tools improve stabilization muscles. Now think about multi-direction movement. Side, backward, diagonal movement improves control. Now think about visual tracking. Eye movement training improves reaction speed. Now think about cognitive reaction drills. Decision-based drills improve real-world reaction. Now think about mobility integration. Mobility improves coordination efficiency. Now think about fatigue training. Coordination training under fatigue improves real-life performance. Over decades, coordination and reaction training create massive life advantage. Lower fall risk, better movement confidence, better injury resistance, better brain processing speed. Now think about career advantage. Faster thinking improves productivity. Now think about emotional advantage. Movement confidence reduces anxiety in physical environments. Now think about aging advantage. Coordination preserves independence longer. Now think about lifestyle advantage. Sports, travel, and physical activity stay easier longer. Now think about performance advantage. Reaction speed improves athletic ability. Now think about the deepest truth here. A strong body is valuable, but a body that moves well is powerful. Now imagine maintaining coordination training for 30 to 40 years. Better reflexes, better balance, better movement control, better injury protection. Now remember this. Reaction speed is not just genetics. It is trainable, and coordination is not fixed. It improves with practice. And once you build strong coordination and reaction ability, you reduce physical vulnerability because your body becomes ready to respond, not just move. And that is one of the most powerful long-term physical advantages you can build. Because life rewards those who can adapt fast. And coordination is physical adapt. Chapter 17, Endurance Challenges and Mental Toughness. There's a difference between being capable and knowing you're capable. Endurance challenges build that knowledge. Because endurance challenges push you beyond comfort, beyond easy effort, beyond short bursts, beyond quick wins. They push you into sustained difficulty. And sustained difficulty reveals something powerful. Your mental strength. Now, think about what endurance challenges really do. They train your ability to keep going when stopping feels easier. Now, think about physical discomfort tolerance. Endurance training teaches you to function despite discomfort. Now, think about mental fatigue resistance. Endurance events train focus under exhaustion. Now, think about emotional control. Long effort builds emotional stability. Now, think about discipline reinforcement. Training builds consistency under pressure. Now, think about self-trust growth. Completing hard challenges builds deep confidence. Now, think about patience training. Endurance builds long-term thinking. Now, think about stress resilience. Endurance training builds stress tolerance. Now, think about identity shift. You begin to see yourself as someone who finishes hard things. Now, think about goal completion psychology. Finishing long challenges improves life goal completion ability. Now, think about fear reduction. Hard challenges reduce fear of difficulty. Now think about resilience carryover. Physical endurance builds mental endurance. When you participate in endurance challenges, you build more than fitness. You build character. Now think about types of endurance challenges. Long-distance running, cycling events, trekking expeditions, swimming endurance, obstacle races. Now think about progressive challenge building. Start small, build gradually. Now, think about training structure. Consistency builds endurance safely. Now, think about pacing strategy. Pacing determines success in long challenges. Now, think about nutrition strategy. Fuel planning supports endurance success. Now, think about hydration planning. Hydration maintains performance. Now, think about mental strategy. Breaking large challenge into small sections helps completion. Now, think about environment adaptation. Endurance events train adaptability to conditions. Now, think about recovery planning. Recovery improves future performance. Now, think about failure learning. Not finishing teaches valuable lessons. Now, think about support systems. Training partners improve accountability. Now, think about celebration psychology. Completing challenges reinforces identity strength. Over decades, endurance challenge experience creates massive life advantage. Stronger mental resilience, higher stress tolerance, higher discipline consistency, higher confidence stability. Now think about career advantage. Endurance mindset improves long-term career persistence. Now think about emotional advantage. Endurance training reduces fear of difficult situations. Now think about lifestyle advantage. Adventure and exploration become more accessible. Now think about leadership advantage. Endurance mindset builds strong leadership presence. Now think about personal growth advantage. Endurance training builds deep self-respect. Now think about the deepest truth here. Your limits are often psychological, not physical. Now imagine completing endurance challenges across decades. You trust your ability to handle hard situations. You trust your ability to keep going when things get uncomfortable. You trust your ability to finish what you start. Now remember this. Endurance is not about being the fastest. It is about not quitting, because life rewards persistence more than speed. And once you build endurance mindset, you stop fearing long challenges, because you know you can handle difficulty step by step. And that is one of the strongest forms of mental power you can build. Because endurance is not just fitness. Endurance is identity. Chapter 18, Sports and Competitive Play. There is something unique about sport that normal exercise cannot fully replace. Sport adds unpredictability, pressure, strategy, competition, teamwork. And these elements train parts of you that simple workouts do not. Because sport is not just physical. It is mental, emotional, social, strategic. Now think about what sports really build. They build decision-making under pressure. Now think about reaction training. Sports force fast thinking and fast movement. Now think about emotional control. Competition teaches you to stay calm under stress. Now think about strategic thinking. Sports teach planning and adaptation. Now think about teamwork psychology. Team sports build communication and trust. Now think about discipline training. Regular practice builds structured discipline. Now think about resilience training. Losing teaches recovery mindset. Now think about confidence building. Winning builds self-belief. Now think about humility building. Loss teaches learning mindset. Now think about social connection. Sports build strong community bonds. Now think about leadership training. Sports develop leadership skills naturally. Now think about performance focus. Sports train focus under distraction. When you play sports regularly, you develop multidimensional strength. Now think about individual sports benefit. Individual sports build self-discipline and personal responsibility. Now think about team sports benefit. Team sports build communication and collaboration. Now think about competitive pressure training. Competition builds emotional strength. Now think about skill refinement. Sports require technical skill improvement. Now think about tactical thinking. Sports build real-time decision-making. Now think about physical variety. Sports develop multiple physical systems. Now think about motivation boost. Competition increases motivation intensity. Now think about goal structure. Sports provide measurable progress goals. Now think about mental toughness. Competition teaches emotional resilience. Now think about recovery mindset. Loss teaches adaptation and improvement. Now think about identity building. Athletic identity builds confidence. Now think about fun factor. Enjoyment increases long-term consistency. Over decades, sports participation creates massive life advantage. Better physical fitness, better mental resilience, better emotional control, better social connection. Now think about career advantage. Sports build teamwork and leadership skills. Now think about emotional advantage. Sports improve stress coping ability. Now think about lifestyle advantage. Active hobbies increase life satisfaction. Now think about cognitive advantage. Sports improve brain processing speed. Now think about aging advantage. Sports maintain mobility and coordination longer. Now think about the deepest truth here. Competition reveals your true response to pressure. Now imagine playing sports consistently for decades. You handle pressure better. You recover from failure faster. You build stronger social bonds. You maintain physical confidence longer. Now remember this. Sport is not just exercise. It is training for life pressure. Because life is competitive in many ways. And sport teaches you how to compete with discipline, respect, and control. And once sports become part of your life, you build physical fitness and mental toughness simultaneously. And that is a powerful combination for lifelong performance and confidence. Chapter 19, Injury Prevention and Longevity Training. Most people focus on getting stronger, lifting heavier, running faster, training harder. But very few people focus on something even more important, staying uninjured. Because injury is one of the fastest ways to lose progress. And not just fitness progress. Injury affects work, mood, confidence, independence, long-term health quality. And the older you get, the more important injury prevention becomes. Because recovery slows with age. Now, think about what longevity training really means. It means training your body to stay functional for decades, not just months. Now, think about joint protection. Strong surrounding muscles protect joints. Now, think about mobility importance. Flexible joints reduce injury risk. Now, think about movement quality. Good movement patterns reduce strain. Now, think about load management. Too much too fast increases injury probability. Now, think about recovery science. Recovery time is where adaptation happens. Now, think about overuse injuries. Repetition without recovery causes damage. Now, think about posture health. Poor posture increases long-term injury risk. Now, think about tendon and ligament care. These tissues adapt slower than muscles. Now, think about warm-up importance. Warm muscles perform better and safer. Now, think about cool-down importance. Recovery transition reduces stiffness. Now, think about pain awareness. Pain is information, not something to ignore. When you train for longevity, you train smarter, not just harder. Now think about mobility routines. Daily mobility maintains joint health. Now think about stability training. Stability prevents joint misalignment injuries. Now think about balance training. Train opposing muscle groups equally. Now think about gradual progression. Increase training load slowly. Now think about recovery days. Rest days prevent long-term damage. Now think about sleep role. Sleep repairs tissues and nervous system. Now think about nutrition role. Nutrition supports tissue repair. Now think about hydration role. Hydration supports joint lubrication. Now think about cross-training. Variety reduces repetitive stress. Now think about technique focus. Good technique reduces injury risk. Now think about aging adjustment. Training style should adapt with age. Now, think about body feedback listening. Your body gives early warning signals. Over decades, injury prevention mindset creates massive life advantage. Consistent training progress, lower chronic pain risk, better long-term mobility, higher independence in older age. Now, think about career advantage. Healthy body supports long working life. Now, think about emotional advantage. Avoiding injury protects confidence. Now think about financial advantage. Lower medical and rehab cost. Now think about lifestyle advantage. Injury-free body supports active lifestyle. Now think about aging advantage. Longevity training supports healthy aging. Now think about the deepest truth here. It is better to train slightly less and stay consistent for decades than train extremely hard and stop due to injury. Now imagine protecting your body from major injuries for 30 to 40 years. Stronger long-term fitness, better mobility in older age, better quality of life, more independence. Now remember this, longevity training is not about doing less. It is about doing smart, because your goal is not short-term peak performance. Your goal is lifelong functional performance. And once you shift toward longevity mindset, you stop asking, how hard can I train today? And start asking, how can I train so I can still train 30 years from now? And that question changes everything. Because health is not about winning one year. It is about winning. Chapter 20, the lifelong fitness identity. Most people treat fitness like a phase. A few months of motivation, a temporary goal, a short-term transformation, and then life gets busy again. Work increases, responsibilities increase, time pressure increases, and fitness slowly disappears. But the people who stay strong, healthy, and capable for decades do something different. They don't treat fitness like a project. They treat fitness like identity. Because identity creates consistency, and consistency creates lifelong results. Now, think about what lifelong fitness identity really means. It means fitness is part of who you are, not something you try to do. Now think about identity versus motivation. Motivation changes daily. Identity stays stable. Now think about habit automation. Identity makes healthy habits automatic. Now think about decision simplicity. Identity removes daily health negotiation. Now think about self-image reinforcement. Identity shapes behavior naturally. Now think about long-term consistency. Identity survives life stress phases. Now think about confidence stability. Fitness identity builds physical self-trust. Now think about energy baseline. Fitness identity supports consistent energy. Now think about emotional stability. Fitness supports mental health long-term. Now think about resilience building. Fitness identity builds stress resistance. Now think about aging resistance. Fitness identity slows physical decline. Now think about life quality extension. Fitness identity improves long-term lifestyle quality. When you build lifelong fitness identity, health stops feeling like effort. Now think about daily movement normalization. Movement becomes daily routine. Now think about training scheduling. Training becomes part of life schedule. Now think about food identity. Healthy food becomes default choice. Now think about recovery respect. Sleep and recovery become priorities. Now think about self-respect psychology. Fitness identity builds self-discipline respect. Now think about environment design. Fitness-friendly environments support identity. Now think about social circle influence. Fitness identity often attracts healthy social environments. Now think about stress coping. Fitness becomes stress release method. Now think about long-term goal alignment. Fitness supports all life goals. Now think about adaptability. Fitness identity adjusts with age and lifestyle changes. Now think about injury recovery mindset. Fitness identity prioritizes safe long-term progress. Now think about role model effect. Fitness identity influences family and social circle. Over decades, lifelong fitness identity creates massive life advantage. Higher energy across decades. Higher independence in older age. Lower disease risk. Higher confidence stability. Now think about career advantage. High energy supports high performance. Now think about emotional advantage. Fitness supports emotional stability long-term. Now think about lifestyle advantage. Fitness supports active life experiences. Now think about family advantage. Healthy individuals support family strength. Now think about aging advantage. Fitness identity protects long-term mobility. Now think about the deepest truth here. Fitness is not about how you look. It is about how long you can live fully functional. Now imagine living with fitness identity for 30 to 50 years. You stay active longer. You stay independent longer. You maintain confidence longer. You maintain physical freedom longer. Now remember this. You don't need perfect training. You need consistent lifelong movement. Because fitness is not about intensity spikes. It is about decades of consistency. And once fitness becomes part of who you are, you stop asking, should I work out today? And start living like someone who naturally moves, trains, and takes care of their body. And that is the highest level of health mastery. Because phases end, but identity lasts. And lifelong fitness identity is one of the strongest gifts you can give your future. Your body is always listening to how you treat it. Every meal sends a signal. Every workout sends a signal. Every hour of sleep sends a signal. Every stressful reaction sends a signal. And over time, your body responds. Health is not built in extreme bursts. It is built quietly, daily, repeatedly, consistently. You don't need perfect discipline. You need long-term commitment. Because fitness is not about looking strong for a moment. It is about being strong for a lifetime. Strong enough to handle stress. Strong enough to handle pressure. Strong enough to handle aging. Strong enough to live fully, not just survive. And one day, if you stay consistent, you will realize something powerful. You're not forcing yourself to stay healthy anymore. You are living as a healthy person. Because real fitness is not something you do. It is something you become. And now the question is not whether your body will change. It will. The real question is, will you shape it intentionally or let life shape it for you?